Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Mr. Link from The Missing Link. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpie. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. There's even going to be one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Alright, so second time to do this. Things go wrong, things fall apart, videos stop, and sometimes you got to do stuff over. It happens. It happens. But that's okay. You know what? I'm gonna call it a do-over, and we'll see if we can do it over, do it right, and like I said, just call that one a first round, and we'll see what happens here. You know, gives me a chance to work out what I did wrong and see if I can do it right. That's all you can do. Look at the positive. You know, don't beat yourself up over what went right, what went wrong, what you should have done, and how you should have sang your song. I'm just going to look at it as, well, that's it. So let's get back to talking about this movie. Obviously, you're here because you like the movie, right? Did you? Oops, I lost my picture. Maybe this is not my night to be drawing. My picture just completely disappeared. I loved it. And I'll talk more about this too during the inking portion, so I can kind of talk to everybody about it. But I love this studio. I love Kubo. I love this. All the things they've done are just amazing because the fact that it's real. You know, it's not computer animated, and you know, I love doing digital work. I love digital animating and 3D modeling and all this stuff. But I gotta give it up for these guys that they've been doing it with real projects. You know, not just 3D stuff, and it looks amazing. You know, so that's why I love them so much. I just love everything they're doing, and that's why I'm so passionate about Mr. Link here. And I almost said Mr. Link's real name, or the name Mr. Link decided to go by, but I don't want to say it in case some of you haven't seen it, because that's a funny scene. So no spoilers, don't put it in the comments or anything, but the name that Mr. Link chose is pretty funny. Okay, this is not too bad. It almost looks like it's a little bit better than the first one too, so maybe it was a good thing that I'm redoing this. So also, something else that I'm doing my style. So I'm not quite doing it like their animation style, and I'm not quite doing it like no, not animation style, like their maquette, you know, the real model that they built. I'm not quite doing it like that. I'm not quite making it 100% real, but I am doing a mix of the two. So it's kind of like my version, how I draw their maquette. Does that make sense? All right. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Not too bad. Let me just draw the face real fast. And I'll get us going. One thing I kind of came up with, or I realized a word that I've been hunting for the longest time, and I don't know why it's evaded me. Palm lines. All this time I'm drawing, when I draw your hands and I talk about that, I'm like, yeah, and now I like to draw hand lines. Palm lines is the word I've been trying to find, and I know the word exists, but for some strange reason, it's not popped in my head anytime I'm drawing. I don't know why. Strange. But you know, that's what I always say as a kid. But I'm not a wordsmith. I'm not a writer. I'm an artist. I'm a pencil smith, you know? So I'm not embarrassed that I couldn't come up with that word, because it happens. And that's why there's smarter people than me that write and know how to use their words, you know? Okay. I think I'm good. I think I'm happy with this. I think I'm ready to switch over to Sharpie now. Let me see if I got it in there. Not too high. Right there. It's going to be right on the edge, but we can do it. We can do it. So, yeah, I kind of like this one much better than the first one. I may show you the first one eventually just so you see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to erase some of these lines just because I don't need all of them. I don't need the sketch lines. I just need the confidence lines. And I also don't want the pencil to stand out. I want the Sharpie to stand out. So I'm just going to erase some of this just a little bit to leave a ghost of an image that I usually make with the special computer. But this time, I'm doing it with pencils in a sketch. Okay, not too bad. All right. Okay, so let's do it. Let's jump over to the Sharpie portion. Let's welcome all the people that skipped to this portion. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Thank you for watching any part of this video, honestly. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, mostly the fine point, but the pen's a little finer than the fine point, and I can draw, or I can control the line widths much better with this tiny version until I get there. Okay, so first, I've already sketched the entire thing out, and I know where I'm going to go with this, so I can just start drawing where I want. So first, I'm going to draw the eyes and build my way out. So I'm just going to draw 2 circles, and it's okay if they're not perfect. And it's okay if they're not the same size either. I'm just going to draw 2 circles. It's not too bad. I like that. So I'm going to draw the retinas like that. And if I can, I'm going to draw a little bit of the pupil, just a little bit. There. It's going to bleed, so I don't want to do too much of it. And so now I'm going to draw just a little bit of the under eye, just something like that. And then I'm going to draw the eyebrow like this. And one thing I was talking about too is that, what was I going to say? I don't even know. I don't even know. Oh, that I'm mixing my style. So it's not really going to look like their maquette. It's not really going to look real. And it's just going to be kind of a mix of the two to be how I draw. Okay, so now I'm going to draw the nose. And let's just go ahead and draw the entire thing out like this. And draw like the little nostrils. I guess they're not little nostrils, are they? Are they? They're kind of big. And I'm going to give them a smile. Just because Mr. Link is just happy to be here. Mr. Link is a really nice person, right? And something else I was talking about in the sketch is I want to say Mr. Link's name, but that's a very funny scene that if you haven't seen it, it's better that you go and watch it and see what Mr. Link names himself, because that's pretty good. Okay, I'm going to switch over to the big Sharpie now because I think that's all the fine detail I need. Everything else I can take care of with this fine point Sharpie. So I'm going to draw his hat just to give me some start-stop points. Something like this. And I'm just going to loop it around like that. And it's not going to be perfect, but that's okay. Something like that. So again, it gives me places I can start and stop and build off. So I'm going to draw his face like this, and that's basically the edges of his hair is basically what it is. Then I'm going to draw the muzzle all the way around. Something like that. And so now the trick is to try to draw like hair, but not all the lines, you know? So I'm going to do something like this. Because I want to do, his hair's got they got a really cool technique they did on it, but I can't sit here and draw every hair, you know? So I'm just going to draw a few just to kind of, you know, accent what they did. But again, we don't want to draw every single hair. We don't A, we don't have time for it, and B, it'll look better with color, you know? So that's why I just wanted to accent just a little bit of the way they did it, okay? So now I'm going to draw his tie. Oof, I couldn't think of my words. My words are escaping me. So I'm going to do something like this. So I can do his vest around his tie like that. And let's go ahead and draw the edges of his jacket going around like this, and I'm going to draw his collar like that. Do the same thing over here. I'm going to draw his collar, something like that. And again, gives us some good start-stop points. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw. Yeah, let's go ahead and keep going here. I'm gonna draw his coat, his waistcoat, like this, and that's for the stretched out buttons that he has. So we're gonna draw the other side, the inside, like this. And since we're here, we'll go ahead and add the little buttons, if you can, right there, that are being stretched to their tightest. If you can. Like I said, if you can, don't worry about it. It's no big deal. And he does have some pockets, so we'll just do a little something like this. And let's see, there's stretch lines, but you know what? Again, I want to do that with color. I'm not worried about that with the Sharpie. And he does have 2 shirts on, so I'll do another one like this. And again, I'll just draw a little bit of a button like that, and we'll go ahead and draw those stress lines. How's that? Okay, so now let's build off of this. So I'm going to draw the other side of his coat like this, back behind or in front of his arm. And so I'm going to draw his sleeve like this, to his crook of his arm, to the edge, all the way up like that. And he does have that sleeve underneath, this one right there. So we're going to add that. And I'm just going to add just a few little wrinkles, just to show that it's material and there's some creases in it, you know? Just a little something. All right, so I got his hand up, just kind of high, saying hi, waving to you, and I'm just going to kind of follow my sketch, which is a little furry because it's coming out of his coat, but not too much, you know? All right, so there's his thumb to, let's see, his first finger. And again, I've already sketched it out, so that's why I can just basically just outline and go with what I did. That's the beauty of sketching. So maybe, I don't know if I said as much, maybe I'm going to repeat myself, but I was talking about in the sketch that I wanted to talk about how much I love this company and everything they've done, Kubo and the Two Strings, all the stuff they've done because of the maquette real style that they use, you know? And that's why I was saying that I'm a 3D modeler, and I know that I should be talking more about 3D movies and all that stuff, how much I love them, but I'm telling you, it's just the style and the skill that goes into this is just amazing, you know? And that's why sometimes you kind of have to give it up for the skills people have. All right, so here we go with the palm lines. Something I was talking about in the sketch too, that it's taken me this long to come up with the word. I know the word, but for some reason it always eludes me. That every time I'm talking about drawing the palm lines, I keep telling you guys it's the hand lines, the lines in your hand. I can't think of palm lines, so I finally came up with it. I remember now, so I should remember in every sketch from now on. They're called palm lines, silly man. Okay, so I'm going to do his other shoulder over here. I'm going to come over here to that point of his jacket, and basically just going to draw the jacket, you know? Do a few bumps like that, and do this. And again, I'm going to come back in and just draw a few little, you know, creases, just to show that there's stress on his jacket. That's all. We're not going to go too crazy. And again, we got to draw that other long sleeve that's underneath the coat, like that. And then I can draw his hand. And so I wanted to go with like a hairy knuckle, the back of his hand, you know, like that. It's back behind. And you can see a little bit of fingers, but not all, because they're tucked in, you know, something like that. Okay, so I'm going to add just a little bit of hair. I guess that's the best way to say it. There you go, just to give it a little bit of his fuzzy style, you know? And so same thing here, we're going to add the fuzz that's hanging over the belly of his pants, but not go too crazy. But we got to add something. And again, I want to draw it all. I want to draw a whole bunch, but I can't. I gotta have some restraint, and remember that color is going to take care of a lot of this too. All right, perfect. So now we're just going to draw the underside of his pants. This guy doing something like this. Got his legs coming down. Like that. Same thing, we'll do the other one here. A little crook in his knee. Pants, we'll add a little bit of a knee like that. And again, just a few little stress lines, you know? Just to show that his pants are material. Just to do something more than just flat, you know? Okay, so now I'm just going to draw his feet, and I got him kind of the hairy style. You know, Bigfoot. I almost said his real name. Mr. Link style. And the barefoot underneath. Draw the big toe. Draw the other toes. Just kind of like that. You can't really see much of them, you know. We'll just add a few little extra fur highlights. That's the word I'm looking for. Highlights. Okay. Sometimes, again, my words escape me. I'm not a writer. I'm a drawer. Okay. And let's see. There's the front toe or the big toe. Like that. The other ones are down. Something like this. Again, just going to add a few little highlights. Something like that, but not go too crazy. I want to go super crazy, but we're gonna let color take care of that. So we're gonna let color take care of the rest, and that is Mr. Link from the Missing Link. So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.